He's the first player on Fraud Watch this season. We'll be updating you with the Fraud Watch Top 10.
Get your ass to the coffee club. Get your ass to the coffee club. Get your ass to the coffee club. Let me tell you right now.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome out to match day number 2 of the Coffee Club. My name's Zach.
I'm Luke.
And we're going to be running down the Premier League for you. First game, Everton versus West Brom. James with a banger. Calvert-Lewin with a hat trick.
Yep.
You were talking mad.
No, we ran over this last time. I wasn't talking shit about Calvert-Lewin. He's a good player. I said he might actually pop off and prove to be a good player this year, which it's looking like my prediction was correct.
I haven't checked, but he might be leading the Gold Boot right now, or tied with it.
He's got 4. He's definitely either leading it or close. One of the two.
Because Salah had a hat trick last week. Anyway.
Yeah.
West Brom had a red card, but I mean, West Brom's gonna have a hard time this year. Second game, Aston Villa versus Sheffield. They had a red card as well. Sheffield got one in the 12th minute, so that didn't really help them at all.
Yeah, and then they stacked everyone back there, parked the bus on them, but Aston Villa still got it.
1-1, 1-0. Wolves got put down by City.
I caught the second half of this one, and actually Wolves looked pretty dangerous in the second half.
Did they?
Yeah,
I wasn't able to watch it.
Yeah, they came out and created a bunch of goal scoring opportunities. They just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. They finally did, but then City came back in stoppage time to make it 3-1. But much closer game than 3-1 shows. City was still playing good, but Wolves were catching them out on the counter, and I mean, they missed some big chances. Raul Jimenez missed a big chance. I can't think of the guy's name, but number 10 for Wolves was balling. He was pretty dirty. Like, he missed some chances arguably should have put away. He missed like a little dink over the keeper, but still, like, you could tell he's playing with confidence. I think he's going to go on to be a big player for them. I think he scored.
This different game.
Oh, never mind. That would not be it.
Next we got Leeds beat Fulham 4-3. There's 2 penalties that game. Leeds got 1, Fulham got 1. I don't think anybody really sees Fulham surviving again.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they're going to head down, but one thing we have to point out about Leeds is that they need to get a center back in, or maybe just sort that defense out. But they're leaking the goals, but I guess as long as they're scoring 4 every game, that might not be too bad.
Arsenal beat West Ham 2-1.
We got away with one on that. We looked like dog shit, and not what we wanted to look like going into the Liverpool game this coming week. But, it seemed like a game where we would have lost or tied last year, so to me it's 2 points won, 6 points clear. I think we still might be on the top of the table, so,
I mean, you win by win.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how it looks.
I'll take a shitty 2-1 every single game, then we'll walk the league.
There you go.
Let's do it.
The next game, Southampton 2, Tottenham 5. Son with the 4 goals.
Yeah, he actually had 4 goals, and Harry Kane had 4 assists to his 4 goals. Yeah, but he assisted all 4 of Son's goals, which is crazy. And but Harry Kane playing a little bit deeper, swinging those balls in. It was like all 4 of Son's goals was like the same goal. It was like just like right in behind, like just barely in behind, just tapping it in.
If you're rapid and can finish, do it.
Yeah, don't like them, but whatever.
Brighton 3, Newcastle 0. Brighton's wing back or right back, I think he's a right back, Lamptey.
Oh yeah,
from Chelsea. He's a ball.
Yeah, he is. He was balling last weekend, and I guess he's playing good still. But he looks like he's going to be a top player. And Brighton, they
have looked good their past couple games.
Yeah, they've been impressing me so far, and. Like I said, they're one of those teams plays a real nice style of football, something you don't mind watching. So hopefully they'll go on to do well. I think we're looking to loan out Reece Nelson from Arsenal. So
to them,
I don't know. I mean, it's mainly just people kicking around ideas, but I don't think Reece Nelson to Brighton would be a bad idea at all.
No. Especially when they're playing good attacking football.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it would be a good move. He's obviously a good player, just needs to get some confidence, and hopefully he could help them, and they could help us by sending back a more finished product.
There you go. Chelsea going down 2-0 to Liverpool. Mane with 2 goals in 4 minutes. And Timo Werner and what's his name?
Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz. He's so underwhelming I forgot his name. On Fraud Watch, y'all.
He's the first player on Fraud Watch this season. We'll be updating you with the Fraud Watch top 10. But if people are gonna chew out my boy Pepe, we're gonna chew out your boys. So just fucking be on notice.
Be on. Chins will be checked. Leicester 4, Burnley 2. Yeah. I didn't watch it.
Leicester. I guess you could say retaining their form from last season. We just checked the Carabao Cup game where Arsenal beat Leicester 2-0. But it's kind of a Leicester B team versus somewhat of an Arsenal B team. They get all their players in. They're a good team. So we'll see.
And last but not least, Manchester United versus Crystal Palace.
And this is why we had to run through this video so fast, because Zach wanted to talk about Manchester United for so long, but...
I'm going to try to narrow it down, y'all, but all I can say is Manchester United should not be losing to Crystal Palace anywhere, at any time, ever, let alone at Old Trafford, first game of the season for us. It doesn't matter, okay, people want to say that our players weren't fit, they were not match fit. Well, they should have returned to match fit because they only had 3 weeks off.
We got a team full of Eden Hazards.
Got a team full of Eden Hazards. Or some Eden Hazard, dude. That's or Piguain. I don't know. But people want to talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
He's got the stats out.
I got the stats. I did some math. I'm here to lead y'all to the promised land. David Moyes, in his 1 season at Manchester United, spent £70 million over his first transfer window. And Van Gaal spent £316 million. Mourinho spent £419 million.
Mourinho spent that much money?
Yes, in 3 years though, but still.
Okay. How many years is Van Gaal?
2 years.
Okay. God, so y'all...
No, we're spending hundreds of millions of pounds every year.
So you are
Van Gaal's...
backing the manager.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Van Gaal spent 140 first year, 175 the second year. Mourinho spent 74 the first year, so that's not a lot. But then 178 and then 166.
Is this
74 the last year.
Is this net spend or is this
No, this is just spend.
Okay.
This is not net spend or anything like that. And a lot of these players were sold again.
Yeah, because
Lukaku was sold again.
Yeah, okay. But the money is going out.
Yes, Ollie so far always had 2 transfer windows. So he spent altogether £228 million.
Okay.
So, and if we buy Jadon Sancho this summer, who's going to be £90 million, he spent £318 million. He spent as much as Van Gaal has, more than Van Gaal has.
Yeah.
And people want to claim that he wasn't backed.
Yeah.
I feel like the money's being spent. As much as I want to get up on my high horse and say, the last video I was saying, buy Jadon Sancho, spend the money, buy Jadon Sancho. We're not spending money this summer, we haven't. This summer we spent, Bruno was allocated from this summer's transfer window for last winter, right? That's what they claimed anyway. So that's 84, him and Donnie.
Okay.
That's still not as much as they have been spending, but that's still a lot of money.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know my thoughts on Ollie, so...
You think he's a fraud.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, bro. I don't know what I think. Because there's good arguments on both sides that he tactically inept and doesn't know what he's doing. But then his signings have been pretty good.
Yeah. But I mean, it's easier to, pick out who's a good player and, sign a good player than it is to fucking make them play well. Because, you take someone like Frank Lampard, anyone can tell you Kai Havertz is a good player, or that Timo Werner is a good player, or that Hakim Ziyech is a good player. But to buy the good players and make them play well cohesively in a good team is another thing.
I'm not trying to doom and gloom over the fact that we lost our first game to Crystal Palace.
Mm-hmm.
We looked like ass. But the only reason we finished 3rd last year is because Bruno Fernandes came in and lit it up. We were in 12th half the season last season.
Well, and you took 23 penalties.
and we took 23 penalties. And we're not going to be Pinchester United this year regardless. So, we're not going to get that many penalties.
I mean, I think that was like twice as many as like the next team with the next most penalties.
And Jadon Sancho doesn't help the fact that we don't have a system.
No. I mean, you can throw a great player in any team, and like it's gonna help, but it's not gonna like change things around. Bruno really turned things around for you, but I don't know, man. It's I'm not the coach.
We've had a right wing that's been neglected since Cristiano Ronaldo left. A long time ago.
Yeah.
And we've spent all that money, and we've got nothing to show for it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the case for a lot of teams, though. I mean, that's a lot of money to outlay to not have a solid squad, for sure.
Oh, for sure. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's over £1 billion since 2013, 2014.
Yeah. It's, it's at some point, a manager has to come in and do a job and turn, like, and that's the thing is, like, you'll get these new managers come in, someone like Ollie, someone like Unai Emery at Arsenal, and they'll have a run. Unai Emery had like a 21-game unbeaten run, but you could still tell he was kind of a fraud. Like, like there was no obvious style of play. We were kind of like, stumbling onto wins and stumbling onto losses. And, you get someone like, we get Arteta in, and a lot of people argue that, if you look at the points he's won from the games he's played, like, it's kind of similar. It's like, yeah, well, Arteta's come in, he's won big games, he's won a trophy already, he's implemented a system, you can tell what we're trying to do. You had no clue what was going on with Unai Emery. I really don't know what Ollie's trying to do. Now, I don't watch Manchester United week in, week out, but I couldn't say, this is how he attacks, this is how he tries to build a play.
And I can't tell you either.
Yeah.
And we need, in my opinion, which who cares about my opinion, but I think we should have a coach who it doesn't matter what center mid is, who the cam is, it shouldn't matter who the striker is, it shouldn't matter who the right back is. That person should have the same job regardless of who the player is.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I mostly agree with you. Obviously, some players are going to have some strengths and differences, so like you should adjust it slightly, but it should still be overall the same shape and the same types of things.
But when we buy players, we don't buy players for system. We just scattergun who's the best guy we can get and go get him.
That's what struck me about the signing of Donny van de Beek, because like you look at that and you go, yeah, anyone can tell you he's a good player, but does he play ahead of Bruno? Does he play ahead of Pogba? Does he play with them? I don't think he can play with them. I think that's for sure. Maybe against like not good teams, like bad sides. Maybe you could play all three of them. I don't know, but like versus a good team, that's going to leave you exposed. And the thing is then you go, did we spend 45 million euros on a bench player? Because it looks like you did.
And you could have gone and spent that money on Jadon Sancho.
Or yeah, I mean, there's a third of the money that you would need to sign Jadon Sancho, but throw it towards that. You have an obvious hole. Go fill it. Depth and rotation is great, but you could have all the best depth and rotation in the whole fucking world. You could have two squads that are just as good as each other, but if your first team squad isn't as good as City's and Liverpool's, you're not going to win the league. It doesn't matter how good you can rotate and how much depth you have. You could have a third team just as good as your first team, but if your first team's not good enough to get it done, it doesn't matter.
Well, our next game, so we've got Brighton this weekend.
Who could play you tough?
Who could play us tough? We got Tottenham with maybe a fresh Gareth Bale.
Yeah. Well, I think he actually is coming in injured, so I'm not sure if he'll make that game.
I hope he's fresh because I want to see him play.
Yeah.
And then after that, Newcastle away, Chelsea at home, Arsenal at home, Everton away. That's 5-6 games.
Yeah.
That could be tough.
Ollie's going to have to figure some stuff out.
If not, doesn't look good. Pac's waiting. And I don't know if he's the right person or not for the job, but he's been out for 2 years and hasn't freaking signed for a new club yet.
I think if you took Pochettino and actually backed him and gave him money to build a squad.
If we look at the history, we've backed everyone.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think I think you would have to let him really just tear that squad down and build it back up the way he wants to. But I think you could I think you get something good out of it, but at the same time, lots of people think Pochettino's a fraud because he never won.
I've seen a lot of Tottenham fans call him fraud.
Yeah, I don't know. I was much more worried about playing Tottenham when Pochettino was the manager than I am nowadays. So if that says anything, and I mean that's from an Arsenal fan's point of view. So
we'll see. Do you have anything else to say? I'm good.
No,
I mean,
good.
I could rant for another hour, but I'm good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next match week. We're playing Liverpool. We're gonna have to show up a lot better than we did against West Ham, and we've beat them twice in the last 2 games we played them. So form's on our side, boys.
Let's do it, y'all. Thanks so much for tuning into the Coffee Club. We will see you next week.
Bright and early.
Later.
Get your ass to the coffee club. Get your ass to the coffee club. Get your ass to the coffee club. Let me tell you right now, you better get right here. If you don't, I'll just always grab it. Get your ass to the coffee club. Get your ass to the coffee club. Coffee club. Coffee club. Coffee club. Coffee club. Get your ass. Get your ass. Get your ass to the coffee club.